Hello guys, today we're gonna consider BobbleSort. As you can see here, we have code from the previous video, so if you don't understand this, you can watch my video. I will paste the link in the description. Okay, here I created my array, randomized this with random values using this formula. We need this to set custom range. Here we have this starting from -4 till 15. Okay, here I printed my array to console right here. So let me explain you the main idea of BobbleSort. In BobbleSort we need to change element positions in the right order. For example, we need to sort my array in ascending. Okay, for this we can check our values. For example, our current value is 4. The next one is 11. As we can see, 4 is not larger than 11. Its order is 8 has a right order, so we need not change positions. The same situation here. 11 is not larger than 12, so we go on to 12, but 12 is larger than 0, so we need to change their positions. 0, 12. Okay, now we can see that 12 larger than -3. We also need to change its position. 12 -3. So as you can see, our biggest number as a bubble will go through our array to the top. Okay, it's the main idea. Now we have 12 as a current element, and we need to change positions between 12 and 8 because 12 is larger than 8. Pasting this right here. The same situation with 12 and 2, with 12 and 0, 2 minus 2, 5, 5, 10, and so on. Okay. It was the first cycle of our nested loop. Okay, and at the end of this loop, as you can see in the console, we have array size minus I. At first iteration, I equals 0, so array size minus 0 minus 1. Why minus 1? Because we need to compare one element with another one. So we have one basic element always. It means that we need to compare not array size times, but array size minus 1. Okay. Now, as you can see, we have array size minus 1. Array size minus 1 cycles to get our maximum value in the end of array. Okay. As you can see, our array size equals to 15. So we have 14 cycles to get our maximum value. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Here, as you can see, after 13 cycles, we have our maximum in the end of our array. Before this, it was here. Before this, it was here, 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 and so on. Yeah, as you can see, like bubble 12 was rising through our array to the top. Okay, it's the main idea. So as you can see, here we have a nested loop, and as this nested loop every time gives us the maximum, the current maximum in the array. So as you can see now, for example, we have one cycle, one iteration of our outside loop, yeah, and we got 12 as a maximum value. Okay, now I equals to 1. I equals to 1, so here we have array size minus 1 and minus 1 iterations. Why it's so? Because every time, as I have already mentioned, we have our maximum value in the end. So we need not to compare with this again because it's already maximum value. So we need to minus our iteration because every this iteration means that we have again one maximum element. So we need not compare this one. So we minus 1 because we have a 12 as a maximum value, current maximum value. Now we're gonna have 15 minus 1 minus 1 comparisons. So we're gonna be 13 comparisons. Before we had 14 comparisons. Okay, let's go on. Now we have to work with this logic. I believe that you understand this, but for example, let's see how this code works. Let's imagine that array j is our current element. For example, we have already got 12. Let's go to the start of our array. Our current element is 4. So we're gonna compare 4 with the next one element is 11. Thus 4 and larger than 11, it's false, so we will not do some redirections of position. Okay, let's go on. Now we have 11 because j has already equals to 1, so our current element is 11. Let's compare 11 with 0. As you can see, 11 is larger than 0, so we have the next logic. We're creating temporary variable and pasting here our next to current element value. So temporary variable equals to 0, as you can see right here. Okay, to this variable, to this array element, we assigning the value of our current one. So here we will see 11 in the end. But to our current value, we assigning our temporary variable value, so it's value of the next one. So as you can see, we changed their positions because 11 is larger than 0. Okay. Now we have the same situation. 11 is larger than -3, so we entered this if condition, and we have the same one process. To temporal variable, we paste in -3. To the -3 array element, we paste in value of our current one, it's 11. So we need this to change positions of these elements. Okay, and to our current array element value, we paste in next one to this. Okay, I believe you understand this. So we have changed positions of 11 and -3. Okay. In the end of this nested loop, as you can see, after some quantity of iterations, we have right here 11. So we have already got two maximums of our array. So I gonna to be equal to 2, yeah. So we need to do iterations that equals array size -2 -1. Why it's so? -1, I have already mentioned that is because we have to compare two elements. One of them is basic, so we need to do array size -1, and -I, it means that -2 in our situation, because we have already got two maximums. We need not to compare with them. So now we have 15 -2 is going to be 13, and -1 it will be 12 comparisons. Let me show you the next steps. So now our current element is 4. As you can see, 4 is larger than -3. So we're creating our temporal variable, pasting right here our next to current element is going to be -3 in our situation, and assigning to this array element the value of our current one. The same process, to cut a long story short, so we have changed their positions. Okay, right here we have -3 and 4. 4 is not larger than 8, so we did not do anything here, as you can see, but 8 is larger than 2. So we do the same process. We create our temporary variable pasting here to our array element that has index j plus 1, we paste in our current one, so to the array element 2, we paste in value of 8, as you can see here, and to our current array element, we paste in value of the next one to this, so it's gonna be 2. So we paste in these elements right here, and we have these positions as the main logic of this sort. As you can see, every time iterator will be more and more, and we have less and less comparisons. I believe you understand my bad English, because it's not my native language, so sorry me. You can ask in comments if you don't understand something. Okay. Let's go on. Now we have found new maximum value. Here, as you can see, it's gonna be 10 because it's obvious as for me. And after some quantity of iterations, we have 10 right here. So we have found the third maximum. As you can see, now we're gonna have less comparisons than in the previous time, because I equals to 3. So we're gonna have comparisons array size -3 -1. It means that it's gonna be 11. Why 11? Because -1, because we have a basic element to compare, and -3 because we have already found 3 maximums. Okay, now we have -1, the same reason, because we have one basic element to compare. Okay. Here -1 and here -1, the same reason, but here -I because every time we found one maximum. Okay. Now we found our third maximum, and we go into the next step. The next step is to find the next maximum. Let me show you. It's gonna be 8. I think it's gonna be 8 here. And now we have, as in the role of a basic element, our -3. As you can see, -3 is not larger than 0, so we do nothing. Okay, and 0 is not larger than 4, so we again do nothing. But in this next iteration, we have 4 and 2, 4 is larger than 2, so I will repeat again. We create a temporary variable, pasting right here our 2. To this array element, we paste in value of our current one is 4, and to our current one, we paste in value of this temporary variable, and it equals to 2. So, right here we have changed positions. Okay, again, but if we have 4 and 5, we're not changing their positions because 5 is not less than 4. We're going through, 5 is not more or less than 5. We go on, 5 and 8, it's okay, and 8, okay. Now we have 8 and minus 2, we need to change their positions, so we create a temporary variable. I have already told you that, I believe you understood it also. Okay, now we have to change their positions, minus 2 and 8. So right here we have already got our force maximum. It means that it's gonna be less comparisons. So we have 4 maximums and a basic element. It means that here we're gonna have array size minus 4. It has already 11 and minus 1, 10 comparisons. After that, we're gonna get our next maximum. I believe that's gonna be 8, okay? Yeah, it's also 8. So, I believe you understood the whole logic of this sort, and every time, every this cycle works, we have our next maximum. It's gonna be less and less and less comparisons, because every time we have more and more and more maximums. Okay, I believe you understand why we need to minus iterator, why we need two loops, because for me it's obvious after all my explanations. Okay, right here, to scroll a little bit, we have our sorted array. Every time we was found maximums. At first it was 12, after that it was 11, after that it was 10, 8, 8, 5, 5, 4. Okay, let me show you how does it works if we have, if we will paste our array printing in the this cycles etap when we have already got our maximum. I will not show you the whole iterations, only where we get our maximum already. Okay, now we have a little bit of the array, but it doesn't matter, it's randomized. So here, as you can see, we have our array, it's basic one. So in the first array cycle, we have already got our first maximum. First maximum was 15, it has its true position, so we need not to change this, but here we found our next to this maximum, it's gonna be 12. After that, we have array size minus 1 and minus 1 comparisons, because we have already found here 12. And again we found 11, the next maximum. After that we found 10, after 10 we found 8, 9, and so on. Okay, I believe that you understood this sorting. If you didn't, you can write in comments and I will explain you this again. This sorting is very useful because we will use it in our next lessons, and I believe that you understood everything. Thank you for watching.